are back from a holiday and a little break with the first in series of 3 battle reports of the Critical Engagement tournament, which is a Dropzone Commander 1500 points tournament which occurred in southwest London. It was a one-day tournament organized by the Orbital bombardment blog guys at the Tolworth Club in Tolworth. 10 players attended, with the advantage of the fact that the Orbital bombardment guys are very well connected with Hawk wargames, so they've got the latest, they play the most, and they have the best tactics, and I'm learning a lot in these or through these 3 games. The first game is an interesting one. It's called Backbreaker, where there are 2 objectives in 2 bunkers next to the deployment zone on each side. If you take the objectives through the opponent deployment zone, then you get extra points. There are also 3 objectives in the center of the table in large buildings. And so I'm playing against Scourge, I'm playing against Mike's Scourge list. He's a very well experienced Scourge player, and you will see it's a bloodbath. My opponent's list is listed there. He's got 16 prowlers, some reavers, and pretty much what you need in a Scourge army. My list, on the other hand, packs a couple of big boys, including 1 Annihilator, and I've got 1 extra troop unit than he has, so hopefully I can capitalize on that. Turn 1 already, his Desolator is on the board on the side of my bunker. I have my H1s straight into the bunker through the intruder. He zoomed some hunters and I counter-deploy with the Desolator and the Harbinger. Unfortunately, I do not deploy my Ravagers, which he does on his own side in front of my bunker, and that's going to be an issue for my flyers. And then the rest of our battle group proceed on the table to support the rest. Noticeably, because I did not deploy my Ravagers, his unit of 8 prowlers zoomed straight away towards my Annihilator. Turn 2, I move my Desolator and Harbinger after dropping the Ravagers, so I can try to get the drop sheet with the hunters. His Ravager has spread nicely, so they have a large threat coverage. He then deploys his hunters with cover from his Reaver's gunship. And I zoom my second unit of destroyers into his bunker. Next to my bunker, his prowlers get close to the action and his gunship tries to shoot at my hunters. I think they shoot 1 down, but that's it. And the surviving hunters zoom forward and shot 1 of the 3 Ravagers. Thanks to his prowlers being right next to my bunker, Mike uses Razorbird card and kills, I think, 6 of my H1s, which wasn't good. That leaves me 4 guys on 1 base. Having failed to find his EMP on his turn, Mike sends support squad into his own bunker, which is squatted by my destroyers. And there seems to be a party at my bunker. His destroyers come in. I then send my second squad of destroyers to support my warriors, which just came to support the H1 in return. So big party over there. And I'm sorry, this is not a pretty sight. My experience with Annihilator is next to none at this first game there. So it got destroyed by 2 squads of prowlers, 2 intruders, and a Reaver, which was around the corner as well. So a lot of points lost, but at least a lot of his units are focusing on that. On turn 4, I'll move the Harbinger forward to try to snipe the transport of the warriors in case they find the EMP. I create an underground monorail on that building there, next to my bunker, between my bunker and this building. My hunters jink this turn and are much harder to hit, but they do not destroy any of the Ravagers. And in the center there's the battle for ground and air at the same time happening. No one really takes the advantage. And Disaster, he finds his EMP, gets his guy into his unit using the card where he can voluntarily fail 1 of his troops, and they go dash forward towards my side of the table. His destroyers in the center building do not find the objective and start to feel the pain from bombardment. I do not have a picture of it, but the the sheer volume of my forces in my bunker overwhelm Mike's destroyers, I get the EMP and my H1 take it into their intruder transport and zoom across my side of the table. Turn 5, I send my Harbinger on a seek and destroy mission against his intruder with his own EMP token, and it failed miserably. Benefiting from Jink, my intruder do not care that my Desolator just splashes down on the Ravagers and destroys them. Unfortunately, they get killed by a combined shot from the River, the intruder, and some claws from the remaining Prowlers at the bottom of the screen there. The H1 that escaped with the token, trying to make a run for it, move on the side of the table, and I did not realize that he could just zoom his Harbinger 18 inches and then reaction fire, so it's gonna be one hell of a decisive dice roll. Of course, my destroyer finished the squad of warriors in his bunkers and sit. Not sure what to do then. Turn 6, I activate. I go first. I activate my H1 on the intruder, and Mike rolls. He needs a 4 and he rolls, I think, a 3 or 1. And the intruder leaves the table on this side, and we both get our EMP extracted on the opponent side. The remaining 2 warriors unit I had in my bunker after the combat was ended against Mike's destroyers used the monorail and moved into the building that you see on the picture there. They try, hopefully in turn 6, to roll a 6 and get the objective, but they get pummeled down by artillery and lose 1 base already. And then following indirect fires from the 2 Desolators who are having a party time around the buildings on the remaining ground units, just crumbles more rubble onto my warriors, and they die, basically. They perish. Mike's destroyers in the center building are unlucky and do not find the objective. And we end the game on a draw, a bloodbath, and lots of learning for me. Lots and lots of learning. But I get lucky. I guess Mike had a few decisive dice. He played his Harbinger. I thought that move was awesome. I learned a lot from that. I definitely got lucky, and I'm very happy to get a draw out of this.